Hi there, we have Gunner, and today is going to be his first official lesson video, so I want to talk about a few things, that way we can be on the same page going forward into the other videos, right, into the rest of training. Oftentimes, within the first few days of me interacting with the dog, I will be able to arrive at like some real massive changes. And one of them you noticed the other day is his significantly reduced leash pulling, right? Well, I'll tell you what, yes. The leash pulling and the other things that you're gonna be watching today all come from me understanding a dog for who they really are and what they really want. So when you know what a dog wants and what it's about, then you can start manipulating the dog with that understanding, right? So for example, Gunner, yes. I know Gunner likes food, he likes pets, and he likes being told what a good boy he is. So I use those things to help increase, yes, certain behaviors, the chances of certain behaviors happening, right? So here's another thing that I know about Gunner. Gunner is a very selfish dog, and most dogs are, to be honest. Most dogs are selfish. So they will assess a situation and say, does it benefit me to do this behavior? If so, then I will do it more and more, right? So some people will think that, oh, Jeff is good at making a dog fall in love with them. That's maybe what it appears, but I'm really good at just talking their language and showing, look, he's not here for my love. He's here to see if he can get another piece of cookie. And that's absolutely okay, because as I teach him a job, I want him to know he will get payment for that job. And as he knows he gets payments for this job, he's gonna say, yeah, I wanna work for you, man. I wanna do more things for you. Gunner, yes. Good job, buddy. And so once I give him that payment, you see, I asked him for a command. I said his name, and that means engage with me. Hi, bud, you're a good boy, yeah. And then the love part comes in or whatever. But at first it's, Gunner, go place, do a job for me. You done the job, I'll mark it with a yes, and I'll pay you. And so as I've handled him, I've just been freely marking things that he does correctly with a yes, following it up with a payment, following it up with a good boy. I like that you did that, you know, Yes. Good boy. Good boy. And so what I've done now is I've broken up my communication meaning what comes out of my mouth towards him, into its simplest forms. Okay? Yes. Every time I talk to him, you notice, like I just wait for him to do something nice or good at this stage of his training. I wait for him to do something good, I'm marking it with a yes. Yes, because he's staying. Now, what starts to happen in a dog is they start to realize that there's certain things that get at my handler's attention, and then like when he does a certain behavior that I don't really like, he's gonna get the negative, which is the or no. And as I mark the and no for him here, he can tell like, wow, like Jeff is not engaging with me right here. He's giving me a signal word, to let me know something else has to happen. And you kind of saw that when he saw there was no engagement there, he opted to pick a calmer behavior. So just by marking and highlighting what are positives and highlighting what I do not want, in a proper and clear way for him, he is able to make certain adjustments already in his behavior. Now, as it pertains to behaviors, one of the other things is, that's a main thing, is part of our relationship is this working relationship, meaning, Gunner, yes. I call upon you, yes. You do something nice for me, I'll give you a payment for it. But we can do advanced things too. Gunner, go place. And this exercise starts to require some patience because you got to get on it. Oh, what a good boy. Yes. You got to get on it. You got to stay on it. And you got to wait for me to go, okay. Nah, that's a good boy. That's a good boy. Don't get crazy on me, okay? Go place. Good boy. Good place. Good boy. Good boy. And again, you see the communication I'm doing towards him is very strategical. Like I'm not gonna just tell him a whole sentence in English. Good boy, yes. Because I was talking and I waited too long, he just disengages and does the wrong thing there, hops off before I allow it. And then I have to let him know that he did something wrong through the and then he's able to fix it. Him fixing it, yes, and staying earns him another payment. But what I'm saying is my communication is simplified. Good boy. And this is the part where I'm going to talk about this here in a second, but once I release him, okay. He had to ask me my permission to be released there. He's looking at me in my eyes and he's like, is this good? Can I go now? And this is, as we train specific exercises like this, what starts to happen in his mind is he starts to realize like, okay, hold on a minute. It's not up to me to just start to do whatever I want and express myself however I want and do whatever I want. Everything has to go through Jeff. And that's okay, because he makes it worth my while. And the guidance I provide for him, the structure that I'm providing for him, makes sense in his brain, you know? Of course, this is step one, and we're doing it in a very neutral setting. Yes, good job, buddy. Good boy. And what I'm cultivating in him is a desire to want to participate with the parameters, you know what I mean? This time he can come off because I didn't give him a command over there. So he can freely move about as he wants. So my previous thought, and I want to finish it, is as we communicate with dogs, we have an internal desire to communicate a specific thing. For example, he gets a little energized or hyper or nervous or anxiety. A normal person, and I've seen you do the same thing, it's just everybody does it. They go, it's okay, it's okay. And so this is the communication part that I'm talking about. In the average person's mind and heart, what they're doing is helping the dog be neutral. Except in reality, saying it's okay with the tone and the love and everything, what you're doing is enabling the dog further into that behavior, whether it's a fear behavior, whether it's an excitement behavior. It's verifying for the dog everything is good if you keep doing this behavior. So in those moments, our communication is not translating the right way. Does that make sense? And so what I'm doing here is becoming very hyper aware of what my mouth actually says to the dog. So that way I can categorize the sounds and the words that I give him. So that way he has the best chance of understanding me. Let's go back to the example you already saw. When he's on the bed, my voice is, good boy. Because I'm trying to create duration, I have to let him know through reassurances, he's still on the right path. He's still doing the right thing. So I continue. I say, good boy, good place. All the way up until I'm satisfied with the amount of time he's waited, where then I will say yes, give him a payment, and then I will say okay with the hand signal to release the dog. If the dog doesn't wait, like he didn't wait as long as I wanted him to wait, he self-releases, and that is a violation, right? So all I have to do is change my tone, and that's why I go to the and I go a little sharper on my tone, and that's a specific word I'm gonna use to signal to him so he can figure it out. He's a smart boy. He's figuring it out. He's like, hey, I want to hang out with you, Jeff, and I'm wanting to do something with you. But since you went from a happy tone to a negative tone, and it was associated with the moment that I hopped off, maybe I need to hop back on. Let's see what happens. The moment he hopped back on, I go positive again with my tone and my words, and I give him payment. So then he has a better chance of understanding, when he says like that, it requires me to do something different than I was. Hi, buddy. How are you? Come over here. Good job. Yes, good boy. And I kind of wanted to show you that. And so how am I dealing? How I am dealing with that craziness, right? I'm a very aware person when it comes to dog body language. So he, in his little ways, like already notices that I'm not gonna let him bully me. So I just stand my ground. I say the and that's enough for him already between mine and his relationship for him to decipher that that action is gonna lead him no further, and I won't satisfy any of his needs that way. So then he quickly shifted into a different behavior, a behavior he knows he's gonna get payment for, right? So anyways, I have talked for a long time, and it's really hard to do to a camera, right? I'm hoping I was able to communicate what communication truly is for dogs and how they analyze what we're saying to what it should mean. And so we have to start from scratch here and basically start a new system. And that new system is, if he does something correctly, you're gonna mark that behavior with a yes, provide a food reward or love. And if you want him to continue to do a behavior he's currently doing that's good, provide reassurances that are simple through good boys, attaboys. And the inverse of that, if he does something negative, you gotta let him know it's as the sound with the tone change and guidance to the right behavior again. And we'll go deeper into that later and as I show you more tactics, okay? This is step one of the whole system and understanding. The next, I will show you how to reinforce the like what if the sound of the doesn't actually translate for him to do anything differently? That's why he's wearing a 15-foot leash, so I can actually guide him, okay? And I'll show you kind of what I'm talking about in the next video. But for now, let's give you an opportunity to like digest and give me feedback. Let me know if this makes sense. If you have any questions, also let me know, all right? Otherwise, Gunnar and I are gonna check out now. Good job, buddy.